Well, so, like what happened like right before sentencing, ABC News Primetime Live came out with a report on the case. This was like days before sentencing. And
Wow.
Chris Cuomo flew out to the egg farm to interview me, standing in front of the egg farm, talking about the conditions inside and why I had gone in. And this was part of they did a show that particular week. It was on people video either getting people in trouble or getting people out of trouble. It was like the impact that video has, and they were pitching me as part of this, like this video. He filmed this to document the bad conditions, and yet they used the footage against him. And so, the judge, I think, was unhappy with the positive coverage I was getting in the media. And so on the day of the sentencing, and you know, we were not expecting jail time, but the judge gave me 6 months in jail. And something like a year and a half of probation, hefty fine, community service time, and it was past the statutory limits in New York State of what the judge is allowed to sentence you to.
Yeah.
So the
I can
sent
tell you, like, no, a first offense trespass of a person with no record whatsoever, nobody's going to get jail time. Nobody, except you, Adam.
well, the problem was that I wasn't able to appeal right away because the judge had given me an illegal sentence. So the appellate court wasn't going to even review the case until the judge had given me a proper sentence. So I was carted off to jail and awaiting time on the judge's docket, which was about a month later, so that he could actually give me a sentence that would be allowed in New York State. So yeah, in jail, I mean, it was something else. I had known about the inequities in jail, and I had been just in general opposed to the carceral state. But being inside of it is something else. Like it's not, you can't learn about this really. You have to experience it. And it shocked me the amount of just the classism and racism in jail and the way that the guards treat inmates and without any kind of repercussions. And I was called terrible names by the guards, threatened with abuse, like they would threaten to beat me up and stuff like that, maybe to get a rise out of me. But I just couldn't believe the treatment in there. And this was a rural jail. And some of the guards, it was my understanding that they worked at Wegmans Egg Farm
Oh
as
man.
security. So yeah, then they would come and,
Ugh.
I don't know, take it out
Wow.
on me. But then, yeah, the inmates though were great. Like I got along great with the inmates, and um, you know, I didn't form any lasting friendships in the month I was in there. I think I kind of wanted to put some of that world behind me. I did see the impact that jail was having on my fellow inmates and my own life, like the way that it puts stresses on families and finances and all those sorts of things. And it was a month later that I went back in front of the judge. He sentenced me to just the 6 months of jail time, not the probation and other aspects of the sentence. So it was now a legal sentence in New York State. And a few days later, an appellate court let me out. And that was unexpected to just get out that fast. It felt amazing to be able to pet animals again, to be able to touch grass. Literally, I just loved touching grass or breathing fresh air, all those
Mm.
sorts of things. So yeah, it was an experience. It was a terrible experience. I was forced to serve eggs in the jail. As
Ugh.
part, that was my job. And for zero pay, because include in New York State, in most states, you don't get paid for your forced labor in jail. And then, I had nightmares and stuff like that, and had trouble remembering how to use like drawers and clothing and stuff because I only had one set of
Oh.
clothes at any given time, things like that. So it was something else, but I wouldn't trade that experience for the world.
Hmm. Do you, I mean, do you have any kind of PTSD from your experiences in anything that you've been talking about, whether
Yeah,
it's jail or the open rescue?
Yeah, I feel like the moment I got sentenced by that judge and was whisked away to the jail, like I definitely did a lot of therapy around that, to kind of dig into like what that moment was like, where I thought, I was all right, and then I was suddenly be in this other world that I did not expect to be in. My partner at the time was away. She wasn't even in town, and I was supposed to get back to feed the dogs, and I had all these
Oh
responsibilities. I had
man.
a job and all that, and now I have this different life, and I thought I was going to be in there for at least 4 months, maybe the full six, because I was given that 6 month sentence. You get a third off in New York for good behavior. But I was thinking, well, I might have to protest because they weren't going to feed me vegan food or because of the conditions, what have you. So I thought maybe I would have to serve the full six. So I was buckled up for that. But that was like yeah, that was definitely something that I've had to process over the years. But it's something that has motivated me to stay active, to know that there are these that people go through this all the time. Like people, there's just so many people in the US, especially like more so than in other places in the world that have that experience, that are whisked away from their families. And so I
Mhm.
think about that, and that makes me get out there and fight for human rights as much as animal rights.